I'd like to stress the importance when you're working with gCADPlus to be aware of your drawing environment. In this drawing, colour's been set by layer, which is fine, but the layer is currently L hatched, a landscape layer for hatching. I'll wind it back to layer 0. If you look down in the status line, you'll notice that the drafter here has left polar on, O-snap's on, and line weight is on. I'm not so concerned about line weight for the moment, but I'll click on that. Changes the colour in the status line from red to black, indicating that its line weight is currently off. Let's imagine as you move in here with the design and you are specifying building some planting in this zone to the left as I look at of the storage shed, and you want to put in some borrowed landscape. Let's imagine there's a large tree on the neighbour's property. Now, remembering that polar is on and particularly O-snap is on, what I want to do is scale it. Let's imagine it's a large tree, and I select it and right click and pick scale. I'm asked to specify a base point, so I'll mark in the centre here, and it's now asking me for a scale factor. I would normally just click near the outer zone and then drag out to give me a size. When I do that, let's unselect all. What in fact happens is I get a tiny version of that symbol. So something's gone wrong with the scale command. Let's undo that and we'll go back to where we were, and let's first look at the O-snap settings. I come over here, object snap is on, but what the software is doing, there's a running endpoint and a running nearest operational. What that means is that whenever we try an operation like scale, the software is going to search for an endpoint or a nearest. Nearest is probably not going to worry us too much because gCADPlus doesn't sort of radiate out far. It looks for an entity. But endpoint, well, it could jump anywhere on the screen. So let me take it off now, and we'll do exactly the same. Select the symbol, pick scale, I'll mark as a base point in the centre, I'll come over here, click somewhere near the outer zone of the canopy, and I can drag out to put my symbol in representing quite a large tree on the neighbour's property. So can you see that it's all very well to run with O-snap on? That means, for the sake of argument, I can draw lines from one end point to another. Let me throw some lines in. I'll draw a line there, crisscross over and exit. Now when I want to put a circle in, let's say, draw a circle, centre radius, I can, as I move around, can you see that my cursor jumps automatically into nearest mode as I get near the line, but when I get near the end, it switches automatically to endpoint and finds the endpoint. That's really handy, but you do need to be aware of the settings that are currently in operation for your drafting settings. I'd recommend beginners run with leave object snap on, clear those, clear all there, and go OK. I'd recommend that if you are a beginner, just use a one-time snap. So if I want to draw a circle, centre radius, centred on an endpoint, let's say the endpoint of the line here, I just come over once only and just click there and drag out. Start the line command again and go to, say, the midpoint of this line. Pick the midpoint, which is the second option. Whoops. Exit from there. Try that again. Line from midpoint of that line and then pull away. So I hope you can see that being aware of the status of your running settings is crucially important when you're working in gCADPlus. And if things appear not to be working, it's not necessarily gCADPlus's fault. Sometimes it's how you've left the settings.